All right, y'all, I'm going to try to do all this in one take because I wanted to talk about femininity burnout. And so we're going to do this video in one take, no edits, nothing, so that we can talk about something that's real, that's very real, especially if you're a Christian, feminine, and girly. So if we haven't met, I'm Valerie. I'm one of the owners of Tiana Bay. We are a Christian feminine clothing brand that makes feminine dresses from natural fabrics to help you celebrate your God-given femininity. We just want you to feel good and feel pretty in natural dresses made to honor your femininity. And the reason why we use God-given femininity is because if we're reading online, sometimes femininity seems to be something that people have to do. It's performative almost. I came across a Reddit post that talked all about how this woman was trying to be more feminine, and she was trying to lose weight, change her wardrobe, find hobbies, make friends, all the things. And it was just overwhelming. And I couldn't help but I felt for her. So I felt for her in the sense that I wanted to just give her a hug because this was super overwhelming. And as a Christian, especially a Christian who's embracing her femininity, one of the things that I found was that it starts with God, right? It starts with Jesus. It starts with recognizing that you were created intentionally as a woman, that this isn't something like the world wants to talk about feminine energies and something that you have to do or to enter into, and all these things that overcomplicate what God created. Simply, that if God called you a woman, he made you a woman, you are a woman. It's as simple as that. And I think when we talk about embracing our God-given femininity, we talk about returning to Christ and having him restore you, having him heal you from the inside out, remove the impurities, the lies, deceits, the things that we come to believe is necessary to be feminine, or things in life we think should be or shouldn't be. And I just realized I was spending the whole video looking the other way. Good grief, Valerie. So, that's one of the reasons why we cite God-given femininity. We want to empower you to celebrate that part of you that God put into you. It's not something that was an afterthought. It was something God made intentional. And I found that was my journey too. When I returned to God, I had all these negative thoughts about womanhood. I thought that being a woman was just silly. I thought it was inferiority. I thought it was something you had to excuse for, so I would compensate for it. And when it wasn't until I became a Christian, when I knew God, I realized that this was intentional, that I wasn't created as a second-class citizen, but I was a partner. I was coming into God's plan on purpose, and everything I have was purposely given because of God. And sometimes in life, we will pick up problems, we'll pick up beliefs, lies, patterns that detract us from the truth. And the truth is that God had fearfully and wonderfully created you for a purpose. So the second thing is that I wanted to kind of talk about when it comes to entering in or to prevent this feminine burnout is to rest. We talked about returning to Jesus, returning into going back to the creator who made you, but rest is the second thing. And that involves pouring out your heartache to Christ. I think for me, when in my decision to be anti-feminine growing up, I equated vulnerability, crying as woman and as being weak. And that is not it. I think women, we have this ability to tap into our emotions that is unique to us. And I think when we do feel things, we have to turn back to Jesus and rest in him. Just this past week, a thought that came to me was when I was reading Genesis, and when God sent 3 people to visit Abraham to tell Sarah that she's going to give birth, right? And Sarah laughed, and God was like, "Why'd you laugh?" And she's like, "I didn't laugh." And I can't help but think about that situation, because I always thought, Sarah, you laughed. But I kind of understood that laugh a little differently. I had a disappointment that happened this week, and my heart was quick to just dismiss it. Kind of dismiss that God can do it. And almost as if I just put it like a shield, and kind of was sure, God can do it. Almost dismissively. Not because I didn't believe he can. It was just because I was trying to protect myself, because what led to this disappointment, this hope, this angst, this desire of mine, was just believing and hoping too early, and then realizing I invested in something that it just wasn't going to materialize, right? And sometimes as women, our emotions can get the best of us. And That's why it's imperative that we rest in Jesus. We rest on him. We turn to him. We cry out. We plead. We show this emotion that he gave us and turn it back to him and allow ourselves to fully rest in him. And that's when, after we do those two things, we can enter our femininity proudly, because we can then look at the other things, like the dressing up, the makeup, the hair, the losing the weight, the friends, the hobbies, because our foundation is based off of, one, Christ and what he's done, the fact that he died for us, and then through him we have life. And two, the second part of our foundation is resting in him, in his perfect plan. And this is kind of why in our content, when I was thinking of talking more about femininity, I decided to come a little bit more different. We want to have sometimes with femininity, we always want to think it as perfect, but being a feminine woman is just kind of coming back to your womanhood, especially if you're a Christian and you want to tap into your God-given femininity, just returning back to the woman God called you to be. And I have this radical thought that maybe, just maybe, the woman we are called to be, the woman God has for us, is the woman we were going to be before sin entered the world. And that's the woman he's making us out to be. I don't know if that makes sense. It could be theologically wrong. I could be completely whatever. Anyways, I'm done dabbling. This video is long enough. So I would love to hear your comment. Definitely let me know if you like this content. If you're interested in our brand, I'm going to leave the link in the bio so you can check all that detail out, keeping this video short. So I'll see you guys in the next one.